Yo, if any of you really know me, you know that I love smooth jazz. And what better way to break into a soulful Sunday than to have some smooth jazz playing in the background? It just does something different to your spirit. And you know something? I saw one of my esteemed guests and she was feeling it in the background. So I know we about to have a good time. Guys, if you just checking in, y'all know normally Sundays isn't a broadcast day, but these two individuals have just smooth sounds, smooth hearts, super duper dope. And they both bring something so spectacular. And so today, I want to present the two individuals to you. The first person that's going to come to us is Miss Stephanie. And when I tell you, she definitely does have a unique sound. Um, I don't want you to box her in. You know, you might get some Stephanie Mills from her. You might get some Phyllis Hyman. You might get a little Jill Scott vibe. But she is Stephanie Singz. And I want to bring her out right now.
Hey!
How are you?
I am feeling so pumped right now. You can't even imagine. The jazz kind of got me rolling because I'm a Philly girl and smooth jazz is my thing.
And you know what? Let's jump in and talk about that. So that's what I see. So you have Philadelphia roots and you're in Baltimore now, right?
I am.
Let's talk about that transition and how Stephanie Singz became who she is.
Oh my goodness. I've been singing since I was about 5 years old. Any play and production you could think of, I was in it. And I actually got to Baltimore for a job transfer.
Wow. Okay.
A
Okay.
job transfer got me here in 2000. And even though I claim my Philly roots, because I'm like ride or die Philly all day, there's something about Baltimore that has captured my heart. And so I feel like that I'm kind of like, I've been adopted into the Baltimore, Maryland area. Yeah.
Ah, okay. All right. So, Stephanie, let's go back to being 5 years old. Let's go back to being five. I definitely identify with that. So, where did it begin though at 5 years old?
Well, I was born with teeth. And my mom used to say that that was the beginning of me never stop talking and never stop singing. So that's the first part of that. But then I remember in kindergarten, I wanted to perform in this little concert and I couldn't get myself together to do the piano. And the teacher said, "Well, can you sing?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can do that," because I was the entertainment for my family, right? So she said, "What can you sing?" And I was like, "Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you." She was like, "Yeah, you can
Yes.
sing." And it kind of just went from there. And now I'm still in my developmental phase of being an independent artist, writing my own music, singing my own songs. And so I'm still, after 5 years old, still just finding my voice because I've been a hodgepodge of so many other things. So when somebody says, "Can you sing?" Yeah, I can sound just like Phyllis Hyman. Can you sound? You can sound just, but where does Stephanie sound like? And that was the
That's
challenge. So
right.
that's what I'm at right now.
And so let's explore. Let's explore. So we just heard the power. And you know something? Isn't it magnificent when you're powerful without auto tune?
Yes.
Girl, ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing like it.
Yeah.
But Stephanie, so you spoke so boldly that now you want to know what this independent artist sounds like and what does that mean to you? What does it mean to you to be Stephanie Sings, the independent artist?
It means a lot to me because now I get to step out of somebody else's shadow and be Stephanie and sound like Stephanie, not like, "Oh, you sound good because you sound like someone else." Cultivating my own sound meant everything to me because that gave me my sense of individual validation beyond what other people are already doing. And so, on top of that, writing my own lyrics and creating my own sound was important to me because when you hear my music, you hear all of me. but I can sing anybody you want me to hear. But we're not doing that. We singing Steph Sings.
We sing and stuff too. And you know, you seem to really identify with the soul of the music. You know, your spirit, you're so inviting, you're so warm, and you really just have this oomph about you.
Well, thank you.
How does that translate into the ability to exist in the industry of vultures?
Well, I think the benefit comes in being an indie artist, so I'm not controlled by anything besides my own creative ability. And so I don't have to answer to anybody. I can create music that comes from my heart, comes from my soul. And I said in several interviews, if you like good music, then you will vibe with Steph Sings, because that's all I'm going to bring you. I don't really fall into the trends because I don't know what they are. And I apologize. I don't listen to current music because I need to have my creative energy
Mm.
unpolluted by what's happening around me. And I just go with what my spirit tells me to do. I sing what my spirit tells me to sing. I write it. And if I hear good music, I can write you a song in like 2 minutes. So it just flows
Individuality,
through me.
individuality,
Mm-hmm.
creative intelligence. And I think that's the term that we have to use when we speak to the importance of what we're doing. Creative intelligence.
Yeah.
Because any of us can pick up something, like I can pick up a piece of paper and draw a stick man. But it's that creative intelligence that allows that stick man to become a 3D image. And I mean, Stephanie, it seems like that's what you're saying. In a time when music is so just infiltrated with negativity and foolery and things that demean and degrade us as a people,
Yeah.
you are bringing the love back to the music. You are bringing the spirit back to the music. And because of that, we are grateful.
Oh man.
Yes, yes. But who are your musical influence? We know who they say you sound like. We know who they say it feels like. But who are your musical influence?
My musical influences are the old school that I used to listen to. So I used to listen to Roberta Flack, and I used to listen to Angela Bofield. That's my girl.
Okay.
Angela Bofield. I used to listen to, of course, Phyllis Hyman, and then when we get closer to the 2000s, of course, my girl Jill Scott. But I think the most prevalent was Roberta Flack, because my
Mm.
mom used to play it every Saturday. And I never could understand what strumming my pain with his fingers meant when I was a kid. What does that mean? But
So
I
many people
felt
don't
it.
know.
I
Hmm.
felt it. And I'm like,
Hmm.
that's music. It makes you feel something. So if I can create music that makes you feel something, then I've tapped into the energy of the greats, because that's what good music is. It's a feeling. It's a feeling. I call it the vibe.
Yes, yes, and a vibe you are, guys. If you're just checking in, I am sitting here just enjoying the warm, welcoming spirit, smile, and eyes of Miss Stephanie Sings. And you gave something to us that means so much, and that is individuality. Now, as far as projects are concerned, what are some of the things that we need to look out for?
Oh my goodness. Well, Fluid Emotions came out the in the beginning of the pandemic season. So it's really never been explored in its entirety. So Fluid Emotions is still my baby right now because nobody has really heard it, right?
Okay.
During that indie experience, I had so many performance dates set up. It was like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 photo shoots and movies, and then before I know it, it all shut down. And then I was like, well, that's okay, because my music is still new, right? It's still new. So singles are being dropped. My favorite single right now is called Stability. And
Mm.
Stability is a beautiful song because the whole project of Fluid Emotions, I'm taking you on an emotional journey. And in Stability, I'm saying, can you hear? Can you feel? Can you see everything I've told you?
Mm.
Emotions are a secret tongue only for the ears of the awoken, right? a spoken truth from the root of my mind and the depths of my heart. So what I'm saying is I'm bringing love back to music, the energy of the vibe of good music, because now my music is really relevant because people need to be soothed and healed. And, no disrespect. When I turn on the radio, I'm not moved, soothed, or healed. And so
Mm.
that's what you have to look forward to when you listen to my music.
Please say it 1, 2, 3, 4 more times. It's so real.
Move, soothe, and
Woo.
inspired.
The fact that you can speak to it, and I think,
Yeah.
you know, we have to figure out when, where, and how we teach this upcoming generation what music really is. It's nothing wrong, with their creative style. We're not
Right.
knocking what they're doing, but I think we just want to see it done with a little bit more decency and order, because at the end of the day, the babies coming behind them are the ones that's suffering.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know?
Yes.
And I mean, and then, like my mom always said, then you got old fools out here trying to act like them. So
Yeah.
we just all over the place.
Yeah.
But Miss Stephanie,
Yes, ma'am.
before we wind down, I want you to tell everybody where they can find you on social media and how they can stream your music.
Well, my music is everywhere. It's on iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon, Spotify, Deezer, anywhere you can stream music, you can find me. Um, what else can I tell you? I have a YouTube channel that's just starting to get its sea legs. There's some official videos on there. I am underscore Steph Sings. And my Instagram page, I am underscore Steph Sings. So you can find me because my name is pretty unusual. And
Yes.
we shortened it from Stephanie Sings to Steph Sings because it has a little rhythm to it. Steph Sings, you get it? Steph Sings.
Hey, S squared.
Right? There you go. So hopefully that's going to be something that if you're looking for quality music, something's going to move, inspire you, and get you to a place of soothing your soul. I think that I have a few tracks, maybe if not all 15, that can give you that. I'm told that my music is a vibe and it's a chill. So if you're doing your little relaxation and getting your mind right, I heard my music is what's played when that's happening.
Hello, somebody. I know that's right. You know what, Miss Stephanie? We thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you for bringing the soul back to the music. And like I said, we had to pop in with that jazz because I already knew what kind of vibe y'all were bringing. And it's definitely a vibe. So from my heart to yours, thank you. And we salute you.
Thank
Steph
you.
Sings, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for having me. Peace and love.
Have a happy Sunday.
Take care. Bye bye.
Guys, listen, Steph Sings is streaming everywhere. Please check out Fluid Emotions. You don't know until you listen. All righty. Now let's make a smooth transition. This gentleman has a very, very notable and proud name, John Brown. But for today's purposes, he is J. Esquire. This vocalist, songwriter, vocal producer, and producer out of Baltimore is a 80s baby for real. I don't know if he an 80s baby like I'm an 80s baby, but we about to see what Mr. J. Esquire has for us today.
What's going on? Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
How
All
are
right.
you?
I am great. I am great. But I'm going to be even better when you let me know what makes you a 80s baby.
Man, first of all, I was born in the 80s, and I am heavily impacted by the what I call the greatness of the 80s, especially, the crooners of the 80s and also the New Jack Swing sound. So
Hello, somebody.
definitely,
Yes.
definitely those things. Hello.
I'm with
Yes,
you
sir.
all the way because I'm an 80s baby. And I always ask people that
Okay.
because there is a strong distinction between early 80s babies and late 80s babies. I was blessed to hit right in the
For
middle,
sure.
so I understand
There you
what it
go.
is. And I don't care what nobody say. We were the last decade of children with sense. Do you understand
Facts.
what I'm saying?
And good music, good music everywhere. We were the last great ones with great music like everywhere. You know what
Do
I
you
mean?
realize we listen to everything? We can listen to everything
Yeah.
and dissect it
Mm-hmm.
and understand what we're listening to. Even though some of it we like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you know what? Did they
Mm-hmm.
really just say that? But we understand it, but we also know what's real
Right.
and what's not.
Facts.
So let's
Facts.
dive in because I know that a lot of that is why you're able to put music out like you're doing. But let's take it back to you
Mm-hmm.
being
Take it
DMV
back.
bread. DMV bread. That's just a word in itself because that area has
For
so
sure.
many different sounds.
For sure. For sure.
How did you figure out what your sound was gonna be?
Um, I was heavily influenced by the New Jack Swing sound and also just the 90s R&B sound for me was like amazing. You know, it was like you 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 just had so many options and no matter which way you decided to go, you were good. You know what I mean? And it was just no shortage of greatness, no matter what side of the fence you decided to be on, or if you decided to be sitting in the middle of a fence, you were literally right there in the creative collective of greatness. So
Mm.
it was almost a no-brainer for me to be able to take elements from that time and what's going on today and you know kind of put that in a stew of soul.
So Jay, what is your ultimate goal with your music relative to collective impact, not just for you, but the collective impact?
I want my music to be culturally important
Mm,
around the world, but
yes.
mostly to our community, you know, for people to understand that, you know, R&B has such a ceiling, you know, as far as fan base goes, but in that ceiling, you can satisfy and be an impactful, a cultural impact with music that lasts forever. You know, there are albums that we still celebrating 25, 30, 40 years later that were very much R&B and they're just undeniable albums and they're what we call definitive. So I'm working hard to make sure that my music is definitive to someone.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are sitting here wrapping up with Jay Esquire, and we're gonna take a
Yes,
turn
man.
and we're gonna talk about his music. But
Okay.
there is one song that we have to pull out. What She Do.
Okay.
Jay, tell us
Oh.
about tell us the story behind what she do. And we don't have to get too deep, but let's hit the high points.
The funny thing about that song is that's the song that even if it's not somebody's favorite off the album, that's the song people want to know the story behind. So that record is actually based on a really good friend of mine. He was in the studio with me when I was writing it, and it actually started as a joke. I was in there writing for a group out of LA, and he was with me, and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna say. And I had actually written it to be fun at first. It was actually gonna have like a Pharrell vibe. Like I actually was like rap singing it at first. It was just like,
Okay.
this girl's amazing. I don't know why. I'm captivated. She's got my mind. And when we went in to do it though, the guy who I was working with at the time on the original track was like, yo, you really, really need to sing it. So joking, like sarcastically, I literally was just like, this girl's amazing. I don't know why. I'm captivated. She's got my mind. And it just stuck. It just stuck. And that song actually sat for a little while and I just played around with it and I sang it live. I started adding it to my shows because around 2015, I decided I wasn't going to be doing shows full of covers anymore because I felt like my songs were strong enough that
Yeah.
I could gain my own fan base. Because I looked at it like if I sang a Donny Hathaway song, people were gonna go home and listen to Donny Hathaway. They wouldn't be like, that boy sure sung that song, but they weren't gonna be listening to that boy's
But
music.
you saying your song, we want to hear more.
Facts. And
That's
there's a song on the album called More.
yes.
You see what
But
you did
wait,
there? Bam.
but wait, because we
Okay.
gonna bounce from what she do to sexy with it. Now let's talk about
Hey
sexy with
now.
it, guys. I'm telling you, y'all
Hey
better
now.
go listen to these songs. I'm just saying.
Hey now. I'm listening. Sexy with It actually happened to be my favorite song on the album. This is the first time I've admitted it outwardly, to the public. That's my favorite song on the album.
Yay! I
That was
gotta
actually the first song. There you go. Boom. Now that was the first song that I recorded for the album, and I recorded that song actually. I recorded the demo back in 2009. I was in the recording studio working on a hook for somebody else. No lie, as soon as I walked to the door way of the studio, nobody's in there yet. I walk in and I hear the hook clear as day in my mind. It literally, let's get sexy with it. You don't have to be uptight. We can
Mm.
do just what you like, girl. And I'm like, so I grab my phone and I write it in there. And at the end of the session, I asked my man, shout out to my man Dim. I said, yo, I got this song idea. And I went in and I programmed the drum machine. And the original demo is just me and the drums.
Mm.
And so the song just started taking on a life of its own. And you fast forward to 2016, when I was really deciding to put this album together.
Yeah.
Me and my guy Jay Grant, I had just met him. We went in and redid the music to it, and I went in and we sang it. And one more fun fact is that record was finished the day Prince died. So I did that record and the song "Sexy Things" in the same session. And my challenge
Mm.
for myself was, if I can't finish these songs today, they don't deserve to come out. And sexy with it, I was that was a blood, sweat, and tears song. So that's literally the song that I think is my favorite because I worked hard on that song, because I was very particular about that song. And so that's one of those songs that when it gets love and recognition, I'm like, yes,
Yes,
you did it. They
yes.
got it. They got what you were trying to do. So absolutely. And I never wrote the song down other than the hook. None of those songs are written
Honey,
down.
listen, but what's so funny about that? Just think
What's that?
about, and I don't know how you grew up. I can only speak about how I grew up. But it just make me think back to watch night service, December 31st, when you went to church on New Year's Eve with your parents, and that one old deacon that had them loose dentures would just start out singing a song. And I'm looking at around like that ain't the way that beat that beat is to another song that I know.
Mm-hmm.
But they just made up the words were in them.
Yeah.
Honey, listen, I gotta pop this. Whoever DMV boss lady is, yes, all night long is that song. And they all start out with that. That's when you knew something was coming. And you and Steffi just give me that. It's like you don't even have to write it down when you sit down. It's just
Mm-hmm.
like it comes out. And I think
Yeah.
that comes from a place of being spiritually sound. I don't care what nobody say. Anybody can go out here and sit
That's
down
exactly what it
and
started.
write. We can all write.
Mm-hmm.
Any of us that have any kind of literary imagination, we can write. But when you can create something without ever having a pen hit a paper, that is meant to be, that is spiritually sound, that's a connection. I don't care what nobody say. And J. Esquire, I love, I love the fact that you guys are bringing the love back to the music. Yes. But tell everybody what we need to be looking out for.
Well, my new single will be out in September. Yeah, and then also, I am also a part of a four-man group called Black Harmony.
You better
That's
come on,
actually my
Quartet.
foundation.
Come on now.
That's actually my foundation. Like when I say we are a singing group, we are a singing group. Like we gonna give you what you need. If you like what I'm doing, they're an extension of that to the next level, to the 10th power. And we're gonna be dropping our first single in December.
Okay.
And these records are done, but the rollout gotta be proper,
Mm.
because when I did Imperfect Gentleman, we that I was sitting with my man J Law, shout out to him. He was on the first album, the record called More, and we were talking the other day, and it for me, music, for me to release something, it has to feel special.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yes.
gonna just give you anything. It not only does it have to feel special, because in the moment a record feels special when you record it no matter what,
That's it.
but it has to be a record for me that sticks with me, that haunts me no matter where I go at. I never forget it, and all of my imagination is going into this song. So whenever I get records like that, those are the songs that stick for me.
Mm.
Because I could sit here all day and tell you I recorded 20 or 30 new songs that were great. But for me, it's what songs stick.
Thank
Which
you.
songs take J Esquire's sound to
That
chapter two? Because
purpose.
we already got Imperfect Gentleman. We already here. We already did
Mm.
this thing right here. And I'm not even worried about a sophomore jinx. I feel like one thing we gotta understand as fans of music that is that artists give you what they have in the time that they have what they have. Sometimes it is the first album.
That's it.
Sometimes it's the fourth album. You know what I mean? You could be Nas, where everybody's stuck on your album Illmatic, or you could be Outkast, where everybody's obsessed with Aquemini or Stank on You.
Mm.
It just all depends on what you're given in that time, and where you are in that time. And for me, it was just in between each album. I believe my process is going to be I have to live,
Mm.
because in living, it gives me the opportunity and the experience to give you something else.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? And it gives me the opportunity to add more depth, not only to my writing or my creating, but my singing. So it gives me the opportunity to be able to really just give you all of me in that time, and I'm not afraid to give you that. Like I
Mm.
said, I don't dial back and listen to the first album in order to compare it or
Yes,
anything. I think they're their
absolutely.
own thing. It's like when you have a child, when you have the first kid and you have the next kid. For me, you don't compare. You're not like, well, the first baby did this and the first baby looked like that. The second kid is the second kid. The third kid is the third kid. Whatever it is. So that's how I am with music.
To everything, there is a
Hmm.
time, there is a
Hmm.
purpose, and there is a
Hmm.
season. And
Hmm.
I do believe that
Absolutely.
the fact that that is how you carry your music, that is why you are bringing love, vibes, soul, and the authenticity of what our music is all about back to the music. Jay Esquire, thank you
I
so much
appreciate
for
it.
being here. Thank you so much for your music. And please let us know
Thank
how
you
we
for
can
having me.
connect with you on social media.
You can find me on Facebook at J Esquire, facebook.com/J.ESQ. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at JESQ_music. And Imperfect Gentleman, bam, shameless plug. Still rocking, and thanks to you guys, whoever listening, you got me over 100,000 streams of the album, streams and sales. The album is still available on iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, all those good places that it needs to be. It's everywhere track be. So we in there.
Peace and love to you. And
Thank you.
thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I see you in September.
Ah, there you go. Guys, amazing, absolutely amazing. I don't know what else to say because sometimes you just have to leave well enough alone. It is well, it is well. Today, it is well. Thank you so much for tuning in for a Soulful Sunday on this consulting time. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen.